This is Nick Jenkins, and I'd like to welcome you to the Restore Rural America project. This video covers how to assist your customers with a credit issue and how to create a second opportunity for the sale. Let me start by saying credit can be a touchy subject for some people, especially those that either think they have good credit or for those that haven't had a loan for maybe 20 years or so. Um, they came from a time whenever you could walk into a bank, basically sign a piece of paper and walk out with your money. Um, and those people also having a no understanding whatsoever of how the banking system and the loans actually work nowadays. Not every salesperson is the same either. Each of us having our own strengths and areas of specialty and different approaches. But one piece of information or knowledge that every salesperson should be aware of is the minimum FICO score that each lender will fund to, that you deal with. Most banks and lenders will require a FICO score of somewhere in the 6 to 650 credit score range, and that number varying based on the lender. The credit topic can easily be discussed with any customer if it is approached at the right time and delivered in the right manner. We place credit challenged customers into 3 categories. I will cover each one of these categories and I will give an example for each one, and then I will refer to offering the solution. That being, we work with an organization that helps farmers and rural Americans restore their credit so that they can purchase farm equipment. Would you like to see if they can help? And then you basically show them the app and how easy it is to apply. I will also include a copy of the pitch at the very end of the video. Okay, let's take a look at the first category. It's browsers and daydreamers. Browsers and daydreamers are your potential customers. They may have a need for the equipment, but they're the ones that basically whenever you walk up to them, they've got comments like, I'm just looking, daydreaming, I really don't, I need one, but I don't have the credit. Or maybe they've even, said what their credit was and it's a number that's below 600. Pretty much going for the sell at this point will only push that customer off your lot. Remove the salesperson mentality for just a few minutes and have just a friendly conversation during that time. Basically just ask him, what kind of farming that he does. What would he be using the equipment for? How many acres does he have? Just basically open a friendly conversation and get the customer to start talking about himself. But basically what you're doing here is you're getting a feel for, what the actual piece of equipment is that he's needing. Then once you feel that maybe the time is now right, respond with, well, do you think that you could handle the monthly payment if credit wasn't really the issue here? Now, if they answer yes to this is whenever you offer them the solution. Now, from the customer's perspective, he is basically standing in the middle of a dark room. There's no distant light at the end of the hallway, and there's no hope for financing. You essentially opened the door, creating a well-lit path, and you're offering him hope. The next category we call the borderline customer. Now, if you have a legitimate customer that you're talking with, and preferably after covering the equipment, just ask the customer if they know what their credit score is. If they are below the minimum number, essentially just offer them the solution. Inform the customer of the credit repair service. Basically, let them know that, hey, if your score is not high enough, maybe we could get your score up and get you qualified for a loan. If the customer credit score is slightly above the minimum required number, go ahead and apply for the loan with your lender that gives the best chance for a loan approval. During the loan application process is the best time to inform the customer of the credit repair services. The reason I say this is it's prior to them possibly getting turned down, and it will lessen the blow to the customer's self-esteem. If you get one loan decline, stop. Do not run their credit again with other lenders before you damage their credit score. Because each time you're going to run this credit score with a lender, they're going to take around a 3 to 4 point hit on their credit score. This is a very common mistake dealers make, and dealers can do a lot of damage to a customer's credit very quickly. I've seen customers take anywhere from 15 to 30 points of damage to their credit from one dealer alone. This only makes the repair process more difficult. With the repair process already being mentioned prior to getting turned down, this makes it much easier to go right back in and open up that door, and basically you've got it on your phone app and present it to the customer, giving them that opportunity there before they leave. And the third group we call the top tier customer. This is a customer that periodically checks their credit. They make sure that all their bills are paid on time, and they probably have a FICO score somewhere in the 700 and plus range. In other words, they're very confident in their ability to get a loan. But sometimes the unthinkable happens and they get turned down. Now, this usually indicates that there's something else going on with their credit report that needs to be fixed. Your primary objective here is to lessen the blow once this takes place. Try to not let the customer take it personally. I mean, it is a blow to their self-esteem. Throw out a common thing, maybe one or two common things, that could affect a loan approval that does not imply that the person has bad credit. Such as, well, have you made any major purchases or co-signed for a loan during the past year? And this is a very common one because credit reports like to see 1 year payment history really before it starts getting handled in a positive way on your credit report. I can speak personally to this one. I had a customer get turned down for equipment some years ago, and he had a good credit score. And he looked over at me and says, "Well, I don't see what the problem is here. I just took a loan out for $40,000 for my pickup truck 3 months ago." Well, he could have told me this before we actually applied for the loan, but basically that hindered him. It was too much credit in a short period of time without the payment history to reflect on his credit report. And another thing is you could just simply ask them if they have a credit lock in place on their credit, which will also affect an approval as well. State that it could be something that time will take care of, but it doesn't hurt to get a professional opinion. Then offer your solution. This is Nick Jenkins with Restore Rural America Project. I'd like to thank you for your time and interest. I know that sometimes we look at customers as simply customers, but never lose sight of this. Behind each customer is someone wanting to live the American dream. So that being said, let's get out there, let's make some dreams happen.